Hey, what is up? Jules from Romano here, and today I promised you guys that I would show you the books that I used to read, and these are all the books that I have. This is my own library that I share with my family. So let's begin. Here's a book that I used to read. It's The Outsiders. It's about greasers and socias don't get together. It takes place back in the 1950s, where Elvis was around, and the Beatles were like beginning after like in the late 50s. So it's a really cool book. I think they've had made a movie about it with Tom Howell and Ralph Macchio. So it's a really good book. I highly recommend it. And the other one that I read was Of Mice and Men, and it's about two guys from California who are trying to escape some sort of law-breaking thing. I think it was during the Great Depression, and then Lenny, who's second main character, he has autism and he gets into so much trouble, and he loves animal fur. So yeah. So I think this is a second or third copy. This is not the first, but yeah, so this is the third copy of Mice and Men. And one of my favorite books as a kid was Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. It was about like kids in high school going on this adventure to find the lightning bolt, but then for some reason Percy didn't have the lightning bolt. It was this friend, a friend of me, I think his name was Lucas, but I'm not sure. I remember they made a movie about it. It was pretty good. The sequel wasn't that great. Let me find the sequel. Yeah, it's right here. Percy Jackson, Sea of Monsters. This is a movie cover than this one. I don't know where the original book is. I know I have it somewhere in my archives. I mean garage. So I'm gonna put this back. Let's see. What else? Oh, fun fact. Did you know that I used to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid books? I don't have any of the books because I stopped on number 7. I think number 7 was The Third Wheel. But all I have is the movie Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and it has like, this is the first print of Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie diary, and it's just the first movie. The other one I have with the sequel and the third one, but this just has the first movie and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's really unique. If you were a fan of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I didn't like the fourth one. It's been a real disaster, that movie, the fourth one, the long haul. Let's see. Another one that I read from school. Yes, Tequila Mockingbird. This is this I think is let me see. This is not the first copy, but it is the first Warner Brothers printing one. So this is the second copy of To Kill a Mockingbird. So it's pretty neat. I've seen one of these like by the high school library. So yeah, it talks about this main character named Scout. She goes like in this like experience of life, and then there's like racism, and there's like mean people out there, and her father Atticus, he's a lawyer, and he's trying to save this black person, Thomas something, and it didn't work out. He died at the end, and then for some reason this other man who was racist against blacks, he got killed by this man named Boo Radley. And yeah, they made a movie about it. They also made a play about it, the Broadway show. I wasn't able to see it, but yeah. And for the sequel of To Kill a Mockingbird, it's Go Set a Watchman. And this is actually the sequel to Kill a Mockingbird. They haven't made a movie yet, and it explains 25 years after To Kill a Mockingbird. So in this book, it explains Scout's life in general, and her brother Jem and Atticus. I haven't finished reading it. I've only gone up to like almost halfway, but it's a really nice book. It's very hard too, but it's a really good book. I wanted to get the signature of Harper Lee, but I didn't get the opportunity to, so she passed away. So book number 1 is Chocolate Fever. It talks about like this kid, he always loved chocolate. And then for some reason he had some sort of chicken pox, but it wasn't really chicken pox. It was like spots that were made of chocolate, and he couldn't stop like this fever. So yeah, so Robert Kimmel Smith, excuse me, I actually got to meet him in person. There's no picture, but to prove it, I actually got his autograph. And it's been like over 10 years that I never got to meet the see the author, but he's a really nice man, already a grandpa. I heard there was also supposed to be a movie called The War with Grandpa, and he was going to be like the co-director of the movie, but for some reason it got canceled. So, and my second book that I liked as a kid was The Giving Tree, and it talks about like this boy who was little, and then as time went by, he wants a house, he wants money, he wants a home, he wants to go out on vacation, and then the tree turns out to be a stump at the very end, and then they're old and all that kind of stuff. Here's Shel Silverstein, his face. Is this the first copy? I know that he died in 1998. It's the first copy, but it's a first copy from Scholastic, so I wouldn't consider this the first copy. The first copy was in 1964. This is the first copy in 1997. The other books that I read outside of school was actually, I talked about Captain Underpants. It was The Hunger Games, and it talks about this main character Katniss, and she has to go into this game where they kill each other and all that kind of stuff, and at the end she lives. She's really great at archering, and she's trying to save her family to get from being killed and all that kind of stuff. And the series continues with 2 more books. Catching Fire, which I read, where she got promoted and stuff like that, and the final one, Mockingjay. I don't know where Mockingjay is. Here we go. So here's Mockingjay. I ended this book in 8th grade. It wasn't anything for school. It was just for fun. So I enjoyed it. It was a little bit like nerve-wracking, like seeing other people dying, main characters and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good book. If you're into adventures, if you're into athletic stuff, then The Hunger Games really is a good book for you. For One More Day, Mitch Albom. So this book talks about like this boy. He has a decision to be with his mother or his father. He chooses his father, but then his father dies, and then for some reason he becomes some sort of, his life changes a lot. I didn't really finish the book that much, but I've I have read Tuesdays with Maurey, and Tuesdays with Maurey was about his life, Mitch Albom's life, and he realized that his college teacher was diagnosed with ALS, and then he passed away, sadly, and he spent every Tuesday with him. Every Tuesday, and they had like some sort of live funeral. I think that's what they called it. And then Maurey puts like some sort of expression how ALS works. Like if you have a candle that's lit, it goes down and then it melts the wax, and then the candle shuts down just like shutting down your whole entire body and system. So Tuesdays with Maurey is a good book. This is also a good book too, for one more day. And he also wrote other books that I haven't read about, but yeah. I think there was also like a movie of Tuesdays with Maurey, so it was a really good movie. I've watched it before, so it's a really great movie. George Orwell, Animal Farm, and James Orwell, 1984. And these books are really good. I haven't read this book much. I don't really remember, but I remember this book talks about like people owning animals and then they treat them badly and going to a slaughterhouse and something like that. It's not like Babe or Charlotte's Web kind of thing. This is like kind of pretty much like animal cruelty. So people start to realize that people are now abusing animals and slaughtering them. So it's a really interesting book. It's also like hard to see it in real life. There's no pictures in this book, but it's a pretty interesting and thoughtful kind of way how we see pigs, cows, and other farm animals. So it's a good book. James Orwell would happen to be one of my favorite authors. Here's a fairy tale, Pinocchio. This is very different from the Disney one. This one is actually the cruelest fairy tale I've ever seen, because when Geppetto, the father, makes Pinocchio come to life, he goes madly insane. He goes so insane that he actually got his feet cut off, and then for some reason his father brung him back new legs and all that kind of stuff, and then he was going insane, and then the blue fairy helps him to be a good boy and stuff like that. And he lies, like, you can see his nose growing, and there's a little bit of pictures in this, and then he meets other strangers and all that kind of stuff. It's very different. So yeah, Pinocchio. Nothing like, it's not the same. Pinocchio is not the same from Disney. Here's a book that I also purchased, someone with Abraham Lincoln, Abe's Honest Words. The title is in the back, and the coolest thing is that I got the autograph from the author. And my sister, what she reads is the Warrior series from 1 to 6. So the Warrior series is about... Isabella, do you want to talk about it? Isabella? Yeah, she doesn't want to talk about it. Let's see. I read culinary books like Hell's Kitchen, Cookbook. Everything that was on the TV is in this book. It's very nerve-wracking every time when I see Hell's Kitchen, but it's very entertaining to watch, and the food that they make is so exquisite, really. I mean, let's see, like how to make brown stock and make brick chicken with herb gremolata. So yeah, they show you like the picture, they show you like the ingredients. This is just an example of a really great culinary book that you can try and make yourself. Here's another one, Casseroles. And this is a really great recipe. It has like over 300 recipes of different kinds of casseroles. I did also a presentation on international cuisine about casseroles, so they're really great. Let's give an example. Wild rice chicken casserole. So they show you the picture right here, and then they show you like the ingredients and the method. So yeah. Ooh, and here's another one. A YouTuber culinary artist. His his name is Binging with Babish, and he does like some sort of movie or TV show kinds of food. And see, look, all the stars from fictional characters or celebrities, so it's pretty cool. Let's give an example what he made. See, look, the breakfast dessert pasta, like from from Elf. Look at that. Here's the picture, and here's how you can make it. It's really funny. And there's a picture of the author in the back. Where is his picture? I forgot his real name, but I know that he's famous on YouTube. Here he is. His name is Andrew Ree. So look. I see him a lot on YouTube. He's really famous for culinary. Also with Gordon Ramsay. Here's another one for baking. I'm not a huge baking person, but this was actually a Mother's Day or birthday kind of gift that I gave for my mom. It's Tate's Bake Shop cookbook, and the coolest thing about it is that I actually got to meet Caitlin King, and she was really popular when she created this Tate's Bake Shop thing. And there was like this one person who told her, what gave you the name Tate's Bake Shop? And she told us the name Tate was actually the nickname of her father. Yeah, and here's the autograph signature that I got from her. Really cool. And she does a lot of cookies. She does a lot of cookies, recipes, and stuff like that. And all of the pictures that you see are actually right here. Very appetizing. What else? I used to read Moby Dick about three men who try to like search for this whale and try to kill it. And this was made, I think, in the 1900s. It's a very cool and fictional and adventurous kind of book. So it's a really great book. Very long. I guess that's the whole point, but it's a really great book. Even they made a movie about it, I think somewhere around the 1960s. So yeah. Another adventurous book is Jules Verne, 7 novels. The only books that I read from Jules Verne was Journey to the Mysterious Island and 5 Weeks in a Balloon and stuff like that, and Journeys to the Center of the Earth. So I don't really remember much about it, but it's about like mythical stuff that they stumble upon, and it's a very interesting and very science fiction related and magical. So it's a really great book. Let's see. Here's another one, Divergent. The main character, Triss, her real name's Beatrice, and she doesn't know who she is. She thinks that she's Divergent, but then for some reason she went to Dauntless for some reason, and then they only have one choice to be anyone. So I don't know. I don't remember much, but I remember like some of the parts of Divergent and Insurgent and Allegiant and 4 was kind of interesting. And here's my high school yearbook, Herrick's High School 2018. Yeah, I wasn't a popular student in high school. I was just like this kind of kid who goes on the bleachers and just seeing other people perform or play some sort of game and stuff like that. But yeah, I might do another video of showing everybody my yearbook, so Depends on whether you want to see it or not. I don't know. Books, well, besides these, are my mom's. She reads, what are these? Express Lane Meals, Rachel Ray's Cook and Look and Cook, 5 conversations you must have with your son, which is probably me, and conversations that you might have with your daughter, and then Daily Words of Comfort. And I don't know, she's just trying to be a good person. She's trying to have a way to have a conversation with them. I think that's about it for this video, and I hope you guys like my book collection that I own, and take care, subscribe, like, bye.